Welcome to Four Quarter Lives, a podcast exploring the profound impact of longer, healthier, and more engaged lives, not only for ourselves and our couples, but also for companies and countries. I'm Avivah Wittenberg-Cox, and today I'm doing a summary of our 9th season of the podcast. Each season of Four Quarter Lives feels like a tapestry, woven from voices, visions, and lived experiments in the age of longevity. Season 9 may be the most practical yet, full of builders, architects, and reimagineers of how we live, age, and contribute across life's 4 quarters. Instead of summarizing episode by episode, I've stepped back to distill the bigger picture. Across 10 cool conversations, 3 conclusions emerged that I believe are shaping the future we need, urgently, optimistically, and globally. First, longevity is inspiring a new generation of products and services. One of the clearest patterns to emerge this season was the burst of creativity in the longevity economy, services that meet both the challenges and possibilities of longer lives. There's a beautiful through line here that midlife and later life are not just about winding down, but winding differently. These new services are creating options for housing, purpose, income, and legacy, often in deeply intergenerational ways. So Lisa Gold-Sobel's work at 2 Generations was a standout. Matching older homeowners with younger renters in the UK is more than a housing fix. It's a loneliness solution, a purpose provider, and an empathy engine. Or Laurie Kilby, who reminded us that fostering the young isn't just for the young. An innovative new platform, Now Foster, inspired by Now Teach's founder Katie Waldegrave, taps into the experience and spaciousness of midlife to invite people to support children in care through flexible roles that are redefining what caregiving can actually look like, just 1 weekend a month. Or Farrah Baxter and Ignacio Moreno, who reframe legacy as something emotional and accessible. Their new platform, Soalma, helps people record and share stories, videos, values, and advice, as well as all the admin details and paperwork, a kind of emotional will that may turn out to be more lasting than any financial or legal one. Or Julianne Miles, who runs Career Returners, and her new book, Return Journey, where she shares the lessons of thousands of people who've gone back to work after extended career breaks. As lives and careers lengthen, we'll need more breaks, more returns, and a better understanding of how to manage it all for both individuals and organizations. And here she shares her summary view of it all. And finally, Neeraj Sagar's Wisdom Circle is a professional headhunter's mature passion project, connects retirees with companies and causes that value their insights. It's a quiet revolution in how we value age, experience, and time, a placement platform that values wisdom and experience, not screens it out with AI. And it's supported by some of the top people in the business. These aren't fringe ideas. They're scalable, smart, and deeply human. And they share a philosophy I believe in deeply, that connection is the gift and essential survival skill of longevity. So the conclusion is intergenerational design isn't just nice, it's necessary. Longevity done well serves and benefits all ages. My second takeaway is it's not just about lifespan. It's also health span and full span. So this season deepened my conviction that living longer isn't the point, despite billions being invested to do just that. The goal is simpler and a lot cheaper. Live better longer. And to do that, we need new definitions, new metrics, and new mindsets. So 3 guests stood out in shaping this thinking. Richard Leider, a global pioneer in purpose coaching, reminded us that meaning is a biological imperative. Purpose doesn't just extend our years, it enriches them, and it's most powerful when it's practical, everyday, and shared. And it doesn't have to have a dreaded capital P. Melinda Blau, with her signature blend of warmth and research, reframed aging as a relational journey, not about the family you're born into, but the wisdom friends you cultivate. She shares her latest book, The Wisdom Whisperers, where she showcases her deep friendships with 9 old ladies who taught her how to age. And finally, Dr. Milam Hayes brought the physician lens, one sharpened by his 84 years in cardiac care. His message was sobering but hopeful. Most of the major killers in older age are preventable, but only if we start testing and treating risk early and personally. So he shares what's most likely to kill you in every decade, and what tests should you run to prevent that happening to you, complete with downloadable PDFs of every test you should be taking. Together, they draw a new kind of longevity triangle: purpose, prevention, people, the 3 Ps of full span health. The conclusion: we've got to stop treating aging as a condition to be endured and start designing for energy, connection, and meaning at every stage. And finally, I'll conclude with the third takeaway. To matter, longevity must be both local and global. The final message of the season took us beyond the West and into the rich, diverse realities of aging in the global South. We often talk about longevity as if it's only happening in wealthy countries, but the data says otherwise, and so do our guests. Sahar Mehdi is a molecular biologist turned health entrepreneur in India, and she's created AI-guided diagnostics specifically for women. Her work on biological age is brilliant, but her motivation is even more striking. She's filling a gap that most Western systems barely acknowledge: affordable, gender-informed longevity care in low-resource settings. Essential. And finally, Maria Clara Pinheiro, who leads Ashoka's longevity work in India, showed how older adults are being empowered not through government policy but social innovation. She highlighted grassroots leaders from grandmother-led mental health programs in Zimbabwe to intergenerational educators in Brazil who are reframing age as an asset. Their work reminded me that aging may be universal, but the solutions must be rooted in culture, context, and equity. Longevity isn't just a science, it's also a social contract. So my conclusion on this third takeaway: the future of aging isn't one size fits all. It's local, lived, and deeply diverse. Listening is the first act of innovation. So where do we go from here? Looking back on season 9, what struck me most was how tangible it all felt. These weren't just ideas, they were already becoming reality, quietly, bravely, and beautifully. If season 8 explored the demographic disruption, season 9 revealed the builders, people crafting new scaffolding for local lives, services, tools, mindsets, and movements that meet the realities of Q3 and Q4 with grace and ambition. So what are we left with? A reframing of aging as something profoundly creative, a call to think beyond lifespan towards full span, and a reminder that if we design this right, longevity could be not just an extension, but an expansion. What are you building for your next quarter? What I'm building is Season 10. We'll be back in the fall, where I'll be featuring the directors of many of the world's leading midlife transition programs in top universities, from Harvard's ALI, Stanford's DCI, to Oxford and Cambridge's more recent additions, not forgetting NUS in Singapore. If ever you're tempted by some later life educational breaks, this season will be one for you. Until then, stay curious, stay connected, keep designing a life and a quarter that fits who you are becoming. See you in the fall. For more thinking about the impact of our 4-quarter lives, you can read my column at Forbes and subscribe to my Elderberries newsletter on Substack. Let's design lives that aren't just longer, but better.